EthanMRasiel, the McKinsey way, using the techniques of the world's top strategic consultants to help you and your business. Welcome to the engaging summary of The McKinsey Way by EthanMRasiel, a work that unveils the inner workings of McKinsey & Company, one of the world's preeminent strategic consulting firms. Through this summary, you'll discover the time-tested problem-solving techniques and methodologies employed by McKinsey consultants. Get ready to explore the importance of embracing facts, the value of initial hypothesis, the MES rule, and the 80-20 rule. Furthermore, you'll learn about realistic solutions, understanding key drivers, and the power of small victories. You'll also find insights on managing team dynamics, success in hierarchies, and effective research and interview techniques for problem solving.
McKinsey's approach to problem solving. McKinsey & Company is a renowned corporate consulting firm that has gained a reputation for its exceptional problem-solving skills. Their successful problem-solving approach emphasizes the importance of facts, as consultants do not rely on intuition to guide their recommendations. Entry-level consultants build effective cases when they have a strong command of the facts. McKinsey's approach to problem-solving encourages clear expression by adhering to the MES rule, which promotes mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive thinking. Consultants also recognize the value of honesty and admit when they don't have a clue, as bluffing can be more costly. With only a small number of problem-solving techniques, it is possible to answer a broad range of questions. Problem-solving insights from McKinsey. The consulting company McKinsey teaches valuable problem-solving lessons. One principle is to develop an initial hypothesis that outlines a map for solving the problem. Another is to question the core issue and avoid predetermined conclusions. The 80-20 rule helps firms boost sales, while focusing on key drivers and seizing small victories simplifies the process. Hitting consistent singles that help your boss look good also builds teamwork. Being willing to admit that you don't know something is honesty that does more for your credibility than bluffing. McKinsey's approach to marketing. McKinsey's non-sleazy marketing strategy is centered around building its brand through partner involvement in charities and cultural organizations, speaking at industry conventions, attending trade shows, socializing with potential clients, and writing for trade publications. Additionally, McKinsey's consultants use a problem-solving approach that divides complex issues into easier-to-manage chunks. Effective team-building strategies. McKinsey proposes a team-based approach to problem-solving, enabling more efficient data collection and analysis. While team-building activities are encouraged, they should be kept to a minimum, as building team morale primarily occurs through working together. As a team leader, ensure the satisfaction of team members, offer consistent decision-making, value their contributions, and treat them respectfully. It's important to familiarize yourself with team members' interests and hobbies to build team spirit. Finally, be considerate of their personal lives and avoid asking them to do tasks you wouldn't do yourself. Strategies for success in a hierarchy. Success in a hierarchical organization starts with prioritizing your boss's interests. The key is to do your job well, keep your boss informed but not overwhelmed, and refrain from asserting equality. In some meritocratic setups, pushing back on the boss can prove successful, as was the case with a McKinsey consultant who edited his boss's draft book to improve it. However, such a bold move can be risky in more hierarchical organizations, where it's best to focus on pleasing the boss and achieving results. Uncovering company outliers. Consultants utilize efficient research methods to examine company data, starting with annual reports and expanding to magazine articles and scholarly papers. Through computer research, they search for outliers, including outstanding or poor figures. Sales numbers, among other metrics, are analyzed to identify the highest and lowest values for further investigation. Mastering the art of interviewing. To conduct a successful interview, it is essential to prepare an outline of questions beforehand. Start with general questions before moving on to the specifics. Also, Asking a few questions where you already know the answer can help you determine the interviewee's honesty. During the interview, take notes and show attentiveness to encourage the interviewee to speak freely. Besides, use open-ended questions that require more than a yes or no response. Refrain from hostility or intimidation tactics during the interview. Instead, try the tactic of TV Detective Columbo by asking an important question after the interview is over when the interviewee is relaxed. It is also crucial to write a thank you note after the interview to aid in future interviews. Overall, an interview can get traumatic, so tread carefully, especially when the interviewee is nervous or hostile. Mastering presentations. Consultants and managers often spend months perfecting presentations which are crucial for their work. However, the key to a successful presentation lies in its clarity and simplicity. Refrain from last-minute edits as it may lead to unnecessary stress and embrace imperfection. In addition, briefing key audiences about the presentation beforehand helps avoid potential objections. Finally, a good presentation also includes simple and easy-to-understand charts, eliminating the need for complex and fancy graphics.
In summary, The McKinsey Way by EthanMRasiel offers invaluable lessons in harnessing the strategic problem-solving approaches that have been successfully employed by McKinsey and Company. By exploring the world of this revered organization, you've learned the significance of prioritizing facts, setting clear hypotheses, utilizing the Mies framework, and striking a balance between big-picture thinking and attention to detail. Moreover, you now understand the importance of being selective, knowing when to stop, and how to leverage teamwork, communication, and practical research methods to address diverse challenges in the business world. With these crucial takeaways in mind, you are well equipped to approach problem-solving with the same effectiveness as a McKinsey consultant.